You may be and however you may be listening. iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. Joy Taylor is joining me. Joy, you told me a secret yesterday. You got engaged.
Well, it wasn't really a secret.
Can I tell you a secret that's not really a secret?
Yes.
I bet $1,000 last night legally on an NFL game this week. I'm not telling you which game it is. It's a legal bet. It's the most I've ever bet on a regular season football game. Greg Toohey's looking at me like I'm crazy. Goulet's like, that's not who you are.
What do you usually bet?
You know, a little $100, $50 here. I'm not $1,000 bet guy.
What inspired
I'm back of the plane Southwest Airlines guy. I'm not $1,000 bet guy. That's how strongly I feel about a game this week. I'm not going to tell you what game it is because I don't want you jumping on the bandwagon and then betting a lot of money. And if I'm wrong,
that's very responsible. I thought it was because you didn't want to be shamed if you lost.
No. If I lose, I can handle the $1,000, but I don't.
Are you going to tell us if you lose?
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
I will tell you if I lose.
And it's on Sunday, one of Sunday's.
I'm $1,000. That's a lot of lettuce. I did it legally too. There was no law enforcement included.
Did your wife approve?
I didn't really get into talking about it with her. Yeah, I don't ask her about my gambling issues. But the point being, she would support me. She's a loving wife.
I mean, listen, if that is your avenue for entertainment.
Yes.
Like when I gamble, which is very rarely, I take a certain amount of cash out.
Yeah.
And then that's it. If I lose it, that's my entertainment dollar.
Does $1,000 sound like a lot, though, right?
I would not bet $1,000.
I know. I never have in my life.
Simply because I don't like the thrill of winning money doesn't outweigh the disgust for me of losing money.
I totally agree.
So that's why I'm not a gambler, obviously. But if I were to bet on any sporting event $1,000 and lose it, I would probably just despise the team that took my money from me for the rest of time, and that's not a good idea.
Well, coming up in 15 minutes, Tony Gonzalez. We won't ask him if he's bet games. That's probably not appropriate. But we'll get his thoughts on the chaos for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Best for last, they'll give some very helpful news to a team in the NFL. Hint, not the Cleveland Browns. But the Bears beat the Seahawks last night on Monday Night Football, and it reminded me of something I saw this weekend. Have you ever been driving down the road? And there's a car up there and it's not moving very fast and you're in traffic. You could be on a small country road. You could be, I grew up in a small town and you see this sometimes. You're driving on that small road and what's going on up there? Why is it so slow? And all of a sudden you move up and about 5 minutes later you look up and it's the driver's ed car or the driver's education teacher and the student driver. And on the back it says, student driver, be slow. That was the Bears offense last night. The coach, Matt Nagy, is the driver's ed teacher, and Mitch Trubisky is the student driver. I'm looking at the box score from last night. You would have no idea. If you didn't watch that game and you took the box score, you would think that was an evenly matched game. And it wasn't. Chicago's defensive line mauled the Seahawks offensive line for 3.5 hours. The Bears were at home. They had a 10-minute edge time of possession. They had 6 sacks, and basically a pick six decided it. 24-17. What do you think the Rams would have done with that Seahawks team last night? That game wasn't even competitive, but Russell Wilson kept his team alive, and Mitch Trubisky kept his team in training wheels. I mean, think about this. The first-round quarterbacks picked in 2017 were Trubisky, Mahomes, and Deshaun Watson. Trubisky's got 12 touchdowns in 14 starts. Watson's got 24 and 8. Mahomes has 10 in 3 starts. Now, here's the good news for the Chicago Bears. Is in the NFL, here's the thing you can't be at quarterback. You can't be chaotic. You can't be Buffalo. That's what you can't be. And the Bears in the last 30 years have been chaotic a lot. So the good news for the Chicago Bears, beyond the great special teams, the great defense, and that tremendously clever head coach, they are not chaotic at quarterback. And that's a thing. But the ceiling on that offense, if you put anybody, Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, I mean, you could put B guys in this league on that offense. Give Cam Newton those weapons. That clever offensive coordinator, that defense, those special teams. Wow. You can't win in January and February with that. By the way, you can win a lot of games with a low-ceiling quarterback. Ryan Tannehill wins 7 a year. Andy Dalton wins in his career 8 a year. But you're looking at the LA Rams with no offense. That's what they are. I'm watching the Bears last night. That offensive coach, Matt Nagy, is so clever. Those special teams are so above average, and that defense has playmakers everywhere. The difference is, I don't want to hear anybody out there bang on the Rams and support the Bears, because that's the Rams. But the Rams have a quarterback who also went number one, who has a much higher ceiling. So let me talk about the other team last night in Monday Night Football, the Seahawks. Once again, Russell Wilson's running for his life. Once again, there's no running game. Once again, the offensive line's a mess. Once again, below average at wide receiver and tight end. Yeah. Yep. Pete Carroll, USC, New England, and the Seahawks. Starts hot. Everybody's talking about him. Crazy fun, crazy wild. And then with USC and the Seahawks by year 9, the slogans don't work. There are 5 teams in the NFL 0-2. The coaches are guys like Steve Wilkes, Matt Patricia, Pat Shurmur. In the NFC, the 4th coach with an 0-2 record is Pete Carroll, and he's the only one with a great quarterback. Pete Carroll has Tell the Truth Monday. That's what he calls Seahawk practices. Tell the Truth Monday. Be honest with yourself. Look at film. There's Competition Wednesday. There's Turnover Thursday when we talk about the importance of ball security. There's No Repeat Friday slogans. Last night was a Mediocre Monday. That Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, the reason this dynasty lasts for 18 years, it's built on academics, and those last. And the reason Nick Saban has a decade-long dynasty that appears to be stronger than ever, because it's built on details, and those last. And Pete Carroll, a lot of it's built on slogans and emotion. Bruh, those don't last. Slogans, you know, you've all seen the Hallmark card. It's not the destination. It's the journey. You see that card, that poster, you put it on a wall, it doesn't mean anything. Maybe in the moment at Hallmark, you open the card, it kind of feels special. I mean, Tony Robbins is great, and Pete Carroll's a very good coach. I'm not saying either one of them's a scam. I'm not. Once you're in the room and rah, and yeah, change your life, go to the moon, this is amazing, we're gonna, yeah, sweat, slogans, awesome. 3 weeks later, you get home. You just want a beer and some macaroni and cheese. Your kids are wearing your arse out. You're preoccupied. You really don't want to, you don't even want to go to the refrigerator to get the beer. You're tired. Your boss is driving you crazy. You got stuck in traffic. That's real life. Real life's not slogans. Tell the Truth Monday, Competition Wednesday. That was Mediocre Monday right there last night. 9 years in at USC and 9 years in with the Seahawks. Players have all heard the slogans. Remember Cliff Averill, the former Seahawk, told us before the season? Cliff Averill, before the season, came on the show. Remember what he said about the rah-rah stuff?
Me personally,